Ooh, having a peanut butter. Oh, are we gonna have a hard time talking a peanut butter mukbang while I wait for everyone to get in here? It's always fun. Look like a lizard. So I'm gonna give everybody a few moments because I honest to goodness tried to schedule this. YouTube wouldn't even let me. So that blows bubbles. So we'll just listen a moment. While I eat my peanut butter and jam to my beef. Hello, everybody. This jar is disrespectfully large. Okay. I done got the peanut butter out the way. So, GOT7, my nuggets, who I feel like I can no longer call my 7 little nuggets because they're all big boys now. Let me try to open this window. Give y'all some extra light because you know these live streams always look like garbage. Yeah, whatever. So, it's Friday here in South Korea. So, my feels, y'all just gonna have to accept it. Like, I'm gonna be fangirling off and on this entire video. So, like, just don't judge me. Just accept it for who and what I am. Okay. It's Friday here in South Korea. And GOT7 Eyes on You World Tour kicks off today. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for them and for like fans to see them in this magical moment. Like it's very, very exciting for a fangirl like me. I am just like, we've come so far. We've come so damn far. You know, we debuted in 2014. Then we started coming to America not too long after that. And then we were just like, let's go on a tour. So we did. And then we're like, let's do another one. And we are. I'm so happy. Shout out to those of you who have been retweeting and or reading my article about JJ Project's album that came out last year. Granted, it came out in 2017. I still had things I wanted to say about it in 2018. So I did a review of their album today, American time, today. So I'm so happy as I eat my peanut butter. This is the last spoon. I promised to God I had tuna and then this so I could give myself some sustenance. Oh, I have a message. Ooh. Okay, so all right, let me put it. I'm gonna put the spoon over there and finish chewing this peanut butter. You might not like peanuts, and that's fine. I, however, loves them. They're very good to me. A lot of things are happening on my phone. Let's go ahead and mute that to keep that from being a distraction. All right. My favorite moments. Now, this ain't your favorite moments. Maybe it might be something that we share, but I'm not about to share moments and then you'd be like, oh, well, what about these my favorite moments? Okay, I just want to make sure to clarify that within the first 5 minutes of this video. My favorite moments of the history of GOT7. There are plenty of things that have happened on a yearly, almost day-to-day basis about these cuckoo nuggets that I love so much. But these are my favorite moments. So maybe you have some of your own that you'll be more than inclined to leave a comment about in the description below at the end of this video, especially if you're not looking at it on desktop. Desktop, y'all got to excuse me. My words are all over the place. Desktop, where you can see the comments on the side of the screen. But yeah, like I've been there since day one with GOT7. Now, I was not a JJ Project fan. That's not new news to anyone who's kept up with my YouTube channel for a long, long time. I didn't even know who the heck they were until GOT7 came out. I became a fan of GOT7, which will be my first favorite moment when they were on when Team A versus Team B, which eventually became Winner and Bits and Fragments of what is now known as KCON. JYP Entertainment and YG Entertainment decided they were going to go ahead and put their two entertainment companies together and have just a little, just a little rookie little show off, The members of Day 6 were there, which is also when I fell in love with them. But this isn't about them. This is about GOT7. So yeah, they get up, they do these little raps and whatever, and Jackson is talking about he J Flawless and whatnot. And I'm like, your rap is garbage, couldn't care less. You are so damn handsome. Who are you? Then they sat the boys down. They sat down Mark, Tona Fish, Jackson, Help Me Jesus Wayne, Bam Bam, a real living, breathing baby, and Yu Yum, a giant who at the time I didn't know was an infant. Had no idea. They got up and busted choreography to Usher Raymond's Caught Up. I was sold. I was panicking at the disco. Do you hear me? I could not handle what I was experiencing. One of the things in the choreography, the ending, when Mark flips and Jackson pushes him over the rest of the group. If you haven't seen this video, oh my God, you must be new to GOT7. You need to look for it. When they push him over, that is not uniquely their choreography. It was taken from something else. However, the execution of it all, the timing of everything, the martial arts tricking, it was sick. I was so excited to see something new and fresh. Now, mind you, I'd only been in the K-pop at that point, little over a year. I got into it October 1st, 2012. So they debuted January of 2014, but this took place in 2013. So I was like still wet behind the ears. And honest to God, when was the last thing that I watched was a reality competing show because I wanted KCON to win and they didn't. Winner won. And I was like, that's it. I can't take this shit. My heart cannot handle these feels. I'm not cut out to watch these kind of shows. And I absolutely stopped since then. I didn't watch Produce 101, season 1 or season 2, despite loving IOI the way that I did. I, honest to God, had to not. I just can't. It's just, don't get me invested. Put the team together, break them up, make them do the shows several times. Still don't debut them. Never mind. It's turned into a YG argument. Okay, so they did the dance routine and whatnot. Bam Bam and Yu Yum just owned their parts, and Mark was jamming, and Jackson was just delivering, and his hair was nice, and his skin tone was illustrious, and I had fallen in love. I had fallen in love. I'm like, okay, I don't know who these guys are. They from JYP Entertainment. Maybe they'll be backup dancers. I will watch everything that they do backup dancing in. But that one right there, pointing at Jackson, that one right there, wherever he may go, I'ma just have to follow. I'm gonna have to find a way to follow. Holy guacamole, we have a super chat contribution of a lot of money. Happy belated birthday, beautiful lady. Thank you so much, baby doll 87. I am eternally grateful for that. Thank you. Wow, wasn't expecting that. Oh my gosh. Wow. That's absolutely incredible. Thank you very, very much. So yeah, that was what sold me. Not too long after that appearance on that show, all K-pop, because at the time I was still reading it, I didn't realize that they were trash then. So all K-pop issued out the teaser images for the group. And I saw Jackson and I'm like, GOT7? I don't know what the hell that means, but I'm sold. I'm invested. I will be there. Slowly but surely, all the other images of the guys start coming out. And this is another one of my favorite moments about them, their debut photos. Compared to now, when so much has happened in their lives and whatnot, they've literally been all over God's green earth. Um, the the vulnerability of it all, how young and fresh and wide-eyed they all appeared and excited because all their hard work was finally coming to fruition. It was time to finally debut. I was very, very excited about those images. I still have my photo card from their first album uh, in my home in Houston. It's one of my proudest possessions as a fan of these young men. Um, Moving on, we get to debut day. We get to debut. They drop girls, girls, girls. But before we get to that, we had those teasers. We had the teasers of them walking through the school and everything with their uniforms on and whatnot. And that's one of my favorite moments because that was my first introduction to all of them, like to see their individual charms and whatnot. And I'm just like, look at them. I was really excited. So they have their debut showcase. I wake up in America and I watch it, and I'm just squealing at the joys of internet allowing me to be there for someone's beginning. The groups that I fell in love with when I first got into K-pop had already debuted. Debuts were a new thing for me. So seeing GOT7 do their debut stuff. I technically didn't realize when I got into EXO it was fresh off a debut. I had no idea, but this was the first time I was there from the beginning, and watching that and seeing them come into the performance venue for their debut performance, and they were on the little scooters, the scooters that you can hold the wand to that they used in the video. That's a favorite moment. They were really excited, very rough around the edges. The performance wasn't absolutely stellar, but it didn't matter. You could hear them breathing all hard in the microphones on their first live performances and things. They had to learn. It takes time. You don't know what to do until you're actually out there performing. All right. So we get through debut. Then we get to the magical moment of the first time they had hair changes. Now, if you're long into K-pop, you know that when you change up the hair and whatnot, that means it's a new era or a new concept. They didn't quite do a new concept. They went from girls, girls, girls to Na Nigga Choa, I Like You, and changed up their hair and whatnot. And Jackson had fluffy hair. Jackson had fluffy hair. JB was looking so good. I had to just go ahead and accept that he was fine as hell. I wasn't prepared for that. I had my mind, heart, and body set on one area, and he was more than enough to deal with. And then JB was like, "That's cute. I'm glad you like our foreign member. Did you forget I'm here?" I was like, "I didn't even know you was there, sir. You gentle, kind man. I didn't even know, but now I do because you kind of swole in the chesticles area. Your shoulders is real broad. You look like you like to lift heavy shit for fun, and I'm here for it." And then that's when I realized I was gonna have a problem in this group. That's when I realized I was gonna have some difficulties. Yes. Damn, I was gonna have a hard time. I'm still having a hard time to this day. Uh, that's also when I fell in love with Youngjae, which made my trilogy biases. It's Jackson and JB and Youngjae. They are my three most favorite in the entire group. I love the entire group, but they are my babies. They are my babies. And Jackson and JB be sprawling and just fighting for that number one spot. I can't give it to you, JB. JB, if you happen to be watching this just out of sheer boredom before you have to get ready to perform this evening, or you watch this later, I cannot allow you to have Jackson's spot. I'm so sorry. Jackson is a very possessive person and he really loves his fans. And I know you do too. I know you do too. But like, he's the type to be like, pull you to the side and be like, "I thought you loved me. why we not here? And I don't need that kind of drama in my household. Okay. In the house of GOT7, there is peace and serenity up in here. All right. Quit trying to shove up. Quit trying to shove up with your fine self. Okay. Can you be fine over there? Jackson, come get me. That's where we are. I just need you to know. Okay. So so those were exciting moments, and then they kind of disappeared. And then we had our first comeback. Our first comeback was Got Love. It's one of my most favorite. I'm gonna tear up. Oh, one of my most favorite pictures of them is the cover of Got Love. They're colorful. They're in clothing that looks normal and not like concept wise. They look happy. They look like, oh man, we made it through our first album. We're having these unique experiences. We're brothers. sorry. We're brothers. They look like brothers. And one of the most beautiful things about tight friendships and the uniqueness of family is that it doesn't have to have anything to do with blood. It's one of the first times that the boys, and they were still boys then, that the boys looked like family. And it warmed the hell out of my heart. And that's also the time that I learned a little bit more about their history, because I was just consuming the music and learning the words as best as I could, struggling through reading the book from the first album, trying to read Hangul and things of that sort. This is when I started to really learn to appreciate Youngjae a lot more. Wasn't nothing wrong with the rest of the members, but it was something very special about him and Bam Bam. For Youngjae, he had the shortest amount of time training with the group. He was not a trainee for a very long time pre-debut. And in the first album, a lot of my observations was it felt as if, even though he was singing his butt off, his interactions with the group and whatnot, it almost came off in those first early videos we had of Real GOT7. Oh my God, Real GOT7 season 1. That he was a part of the group, but not like emotionally invested. He was still trying to figure out his way. And he's the middle nugget. It's 7 of them. So you got the young line, and then you got the Magne line, and then it's just him. He's the middle. He's the middle age out of it all. He stepped up in his confidence in this era, and it was very, very exciting. And then the thing that made Bam Bam so special for me, not just the fact that our birthdays are just a day apart, but I started looking and doing a lot of reactions on other things about the boys around this time. And I did a video reacting to Bam Bam's history and how committed he's been his entire life to being an entertainer and whatnot. And it touched me in a profound way. Like, I don't know, looking back on it, I don't know if it should have impacted me as much as it did, but you find yourself loving these groups so much and being so invested in their success and whatnot. I don't know why it affected me as much as it did. Maybe because he was younger than me when he realized his dream, his goal, his vision. And some of our paths were parallel. And life put me in a different direction, but life catapulted him right towards what he was working so hard for. And it choked me up. It really did. It really did. I was very, very grateful to see his role with his brothers and his GOT7 brothers, and his love for his family back in Thailand and things of that sort. And I'm very proud of him. So we had some awesome Real GOT7 moments. One of my other favorite moments is the infamous Jackson cute. They were filming Real GOT7. They were showing us some of the recording behind the scenes stuff and whatnot. And Jackson, being Jackson, had his hands on the instant Polaroid camera, and he was taking cute pictures and whatnot. And then he took one, and his face immediately dropped down because he was done smiling and looking cutesy wootsy. And he turns towards the camera and goes, cute. I gotta find it just to be able to hear him say cute. It's so hilarious to me because he's such a butt. He's got such a great personality. But we're gonna get to some points about him in the process of being in GOT7, where that personality had to shift. It's not gone. It just had to be protected a little bit differently. But yeah, that's one of my favorite moments, as well as watching them film the teasers for A, and how embarrassed Yugyeom was to do his part. He couldn't quite handle it. It made him really, really uncomfortable to sit there and talk to the camera. Here we go. Jackson Wang saying cute. Cute. Rewind so you all can see it. Here's Nutter Butter doing Nutter Butter things. Cute. He's such a butt. I adore him. His makeup was very cute that day too. Hair color was cute too. All right, so we leave Real GOT7 era and we take a little bit of a break, and then we get on to the next album. And in between of that, they did I GOT7. It's not a full-fledged favorite moment, except for the part where they all get to yell at each other and like really express themselves. And this is the first time that you hear JB. Now, mind you, it's not the first time you heard him loud, because in Real GOT7 season 1, episode 2, him and Jackson have a scream off and they're exceptionally loud. But this is the first time you hear his dialect, and he rambles off, going off on Jackson. Talking about, do you always have to have something to say like all the time? And Jackson was getting ready to say something. He's like, even now the sun in the world will still revolve if you don't say anything. he was so pissed off with him. I can imagine them having quite a bit of times where they would probably want to put a pillow over Jackson's face and just suffocate him gently with all the love and compassion that one could kill someone with. Because early on, he was a chatterbox. He really had so much to say. Because he was learning, and he learns through conversation and through interaction and things of that sort. So this is when the colors of the group and how Jackson was really becoming the vitamin of it all. Their energy was really starting to be displayed. But JB was like, no, little boy, even though we're close in age. No, sir. Shut the hell up. Let's see if I can find it. JB yelling, not Ellen. JB yelling at Jack. I didn't even have to type all of it. I put JB yet, and it said JB yelling at Jackson. GOT7 JB's rage is just one of my favorite things. He tries his best not to kill his children. He really does. But sometimes it comes with it. Y'all. Let me turn that down. Can't have the music playing. Get the whole video snatched down. Come on now. Get to JB. While I'm getting to that. I'll get to that. Yeah, they had a moment where they finally went off on him. JB is known for doing things like, pitting them all against each other and then sitting back and watching. I adored that. Okay. Sorry, I'm looking at something from the Mad era that I forgot about that I gotta bring up. No, I will demonstrate. Come on, JB. Jin Young looks so handsome right there. I can't even find it right now. It's not even important. It'll pop up when it needs to pop up. Anywho, another moment that is absolutely adored by me comes from 2015. We're going to move forward in time. A moment that I adore is the moment that I saw them live and did press for them for the first time when they came to Chicago. I was so excited, and all the videos are here on YouTube, so it's no need to go into a lot of repeating the story. I will point out one moment that was extremely magical to me. And I talk about this moment in the video. So if you really want to hear all of it, just go to Jinju's GOT7 playlist on my channel and look for Jinju's GOT7 in Chicago. Those videos is exactly 7 videos for obvious reasons. But a moment that I absolutely just Still to this day, just makes my heart just go. Ew! All the boys had come out on stage. The MC had announced them. Young Jay had the mic and went, whoa, because he was so blown away by how many people it was. I'm trying to hold my camera steady, but my heart is literally bursting damn confetti. I could not physically handle it. Like, I was so thrilled. And they all come out and they're all standing in front of their chairs, just taking in, holy crap, all these people are here in America to see us. And you could see the awe in their face. And I mean, God, their faces were beautiful. I just don't know what makeup they use, what skincare regimen, but they looked absolutely beautiful. So they need bottled water. They had just got finished performing Hajima, Hajima, and Gimme before they came off the stage. So they're, still a little bit tired and whatnot. And they're all wearing white and things of that sort. And JB walks up to grab a bottle of water and I lose my shit. I'm going, oh my God, JB! Oh my God, JB! And he turns. Now, at this time, for those of you who might be new to my channel, my hair transforms whenever and however I feel like it. But at one point in time, I had an afro, a very profoundly epic Black girl magic afro. And I wore my afro out at the concert. One, because I didn't feel like doing my hair. Two, I was literally flying from Chicago right after the concert to Virginia to something else. So I had no time to really do much about this. And three, the boys knew me for my hair from watching my YouTube channel. So I wanted to make sure I was identifiable. In the event they happened to notice me, which was the most ignorant thing to say happened because I was literally sitting on the stage. So of course they would notice me. But he bends down, he gets a bottle of water. I'm going, oh my God, JB, oh my God, JB. And he hears me and he looks over, looks me dead in the eye. He kind of smiles. He backs up. He gets ready to sit on his chair, but he stands up and instead he looks at me. Then he looks all the way down at Jackson and he looks back at me. And I'm like, what are we about to do? Are we about to have battle royale for Jinju? Because, okay, I am ready. But it's one of my favorite moments because it was a moment of, I recognize you. I know who you are. I know who he is to you. I know who we are to you. Thank you for being here. I dig that. How dope is that? And I've had other dope moments with them over the years. We'll get to that. All right. That was 2015. Mad. When that album dropped, when If You Do came out, it's a favorite moment for me because it was our... Look at me. I'm about to get emotional. It was our first music show win. Oh, and Jackson's hair was blonde and everybody was popping. They looked so handsome. But it was our first music show win, and it's such, you feel like you are really a part of something bigger than you in their career when your group finally gets those wins. Yes, the other awards matter. Don't get me wrong. Being acknowledged in other ways and things are still just as important. But that first win, my boys were in shock. I woke up that morning and my Twitter was just filled with people like, Ashley, your group, your group, they did it. We did it. We did it. I'm like, what did we do? What did we do? Seeing the video of them processing the fact that they had finally won and they were in shock. They were stoic. It was such an incredible moment. The only other time I felt so overcome with joy for a music show win is the very first time Vix won, which was hardcore emotional for me. I remember sitting in my bed, I was sobbing. I couldn't handle it. So I was so proud of GOT7 with this. Oh my God, I was proud. I really, really and truly was. Wow. I was so proud. I was proud when they came to KCON for the first time, even though it was 6 of them. They came and it was exciting. I wish it would have been all 7, but that's okay because they redeemed themselves last year in 2017, which is amazing because 7 is our number. Man, I'm still thinking of that first music show win. Like, oh, they were so in shock, my babies. Such a good job. Okay, we got to jump around a bit. Jackson turning his hair blonde was a damn moment. Oh boy. the first time that they had to perform somewhere not as 7 because visas weren't issued in enough time for some of the members to arrive and be able to perform. And the performance was live and it was recorded, and you can audibly hear the boys. Oh, I'm gonna have a moment. You can hear the boys on the stage yelling out the names of the members who weren't there, saying, "Do you see us? We're doing this. White team, white team." Like, I love it. I absolutely love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh my God. Like, you're a unit. You've done everything together. You fought to be in a group together, and then you've performed nonstop for a whole year together. And then all of a sudden, 2 or 3 of your men, I think they were got 5 instead of GOT7 when they went. Yeah, man, like you can hear them in the middle of their choreography. Ah, bam, bam, ah, right thing. Not even on the stage, just hollering out their names. I will never forget it. Oh, 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 my heart is going pew, 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 pew. Like, I adore them so much. Oh, okay. Jumping from that, coming on back, Mama, when they got on stage and performed with BTS for the first time. BTS was another group that I tracked from debut on out. So they have a special place in my heart as well, but they cannot replace GOT7 for me. GOT7 is my everything. Um, Seeing them on stage together for the first time doing a collab was so awesome. And just the friendship that they have, it's very, very exciting to see that. That was a good moment that I'll never forget. Okay, so we get through Mad and whatnot and things, and then we start this flight log era. And I remember the moment of the very first teaser for Departure. We didn't know what the hell was going on. It was the first time we saw them kicking it with the baby bird in the videos and whatnot. Stop. Let me go back. Let me go back. Let me go back because I'm throwing off continuity. When we got our fandom name, for days and weeks prior to, I had been speculating both on Vine and on YouTube. So that's how you know I've been around for a while, because Vine done came and gone and came back. I was coming up with different fandom names that we might have and things, and they picked I Got 7, and I was offended as hell. I'm like, what kind of shit is that? It's ugly. I was really, really busted up. But when they explained why they picked it and things, it grew on me. It took some time to grow on me. But I'm a proud I Got 7 now. So that was a moment I won't forget because I was disappointed, but I got over it. And then when we finally got our own official light stick, and it's a chunky, fat, green baby bird. And then got my light stick, which is chronicled on my YouTube channel, me having that epic, profound, insane fangirl meltdown with that. That's a moment I won't forget either. Okay, go back. We get to flight log, and I don't know what the hell is going on with Jin Young. I'm worried if he's at the hopsicle, and I'm wrecked up about it. I don't know what's going on. We get through all of that. The era was fun and whatnot. Yeah. Hard Carry was the very first song that I ever did a fangirl version to, but it was not allowed to be YouTube uploaded. So I've had to like play it in other spaces. But that's where these fangirl version videos came from, because I had to do one Hard Carry. I couldn't handle my life. It was on YouTube for a brief moment, and then all of a sudden they just took it down and snatched it and gave me a strike. And now I can't re-upload it to save my life. That's where that came from. But in that era, we ended up getting Never Ever. First and foremost, Bam Bam's hair. Bam Bam's glow up. Bam. Okay? Resist them if you must. Bam Bam came back with questionable vampiric blood. We've talked about that in the Vampires of K-pop video that I did a few weeks ago. We still not certain. We still not sure. But Bam Bam's glow up that era was nothing to play with, ladies and gents and thems. It was intense. They came to Houston by the grace of Emmy from Daebak K-pop with Emmy. She was kind enough to allow me to purchase a ticket off of her to see my boys in Houston, because I was incapable of getting it at the time that they went on sale. And I had another memorable moment with the guys. They are all doing their thing, you know, talking to the audience and whatnot. And I'm just trying to get Jackson's attention. I see the rest of y'all, but I'm really here trying to get Jackson's attention because he looked real good. His thighs done slimmed down. Lord bless it. So I'm calling every name that Jackson has, just trying to get his attention. Nothing worked out. Mark calls Jackson Gaga. He calls him that because that is one of his nicknames. That's a way of saying his name. And it's also a term of endearment. No matter how many times anybody can call his name, if Mark calls Jackson, yeah, Gaga, he responds immediately. You don't believe me? Go on YouTube and Google or look up whatever you want to call it. Mark calling Jackson Gaga. There's a lot of compilation videos of him calling him and how quickly Jackson turns and responds because he loves Mark. So, I'm calling Jackson Wang Jackson, Wang Kai, Wang Zhe. None of this works. I'm hoarse. Y'all know I got a raspy voice anyway, so it don't take much for me to go hoarse. I finally get a little bit of force in my voice. I holler out, Gaga! With everything I have. Literally, all 7 of my boys turned and looked up in the audience. And I had on my Jinju hat and I had on my GOT7 stuff. It's not as if they don't know who I am. So they all looked up and a few of them kind of smiled and I just melted in my seat. I'm like, my babies, my nuggets, my nuggets. So that made me very, very happy. That's a moment I won't forget. Speaking of Gaga, going back to when he was on Roommate. His whole entire time on Roommate, but that epic moment where they brought his mom and dad, and that baby just melted down with the force of the Niagara Falls in terms of tears. That was a profound moment that was very emotional and vulnerable that he shared with all of us. That was insane. Mark, who's the oldest in the group, who for the longest time really didn't have shit to say, but now he does. It was a matter of getting comfortable, and there's nothing wrong with that. I had a moment with his family at KCON 2015. I was outside getting ready to go into the stadium to see the concert, and I saw the Ton family walking. And I'm like, oh, cool, bet they're all here. They come to everything that they can get to for their boys. They absolutely do. Mark's dad is the 8th member of GOT7. I don't care what you say or think. He is the 8th member, and he loves all those little boys as much as the fans do. So even still, like yesterday on Twitter, which would have been Wednesday for y'all, yesterday he tweeted when he arrived at Incheon Airport. So he is here to see all 3 days of the concert, him and his wife, probably some of the siblings too. Anywho, Mark's dad is walking. I'm doing Snap. Well, not Snap. I didn't even have Snap. I've never had Snap. I'm doing a Vine, I think, or just getting a video clip. And he walks past and I'm like, oh, thank you so much for coming and supporting our boys. And he waves and says, you're welcome, like walking off. And I lose my mind in the video. I lose my mind in the video. It's just as awesome to see the parents who have sacrificed so much for their children to get to this point as it is to see their children. When GOT7 came to KCON, I didn't have a light stick then in 2015. No biggie. They had a concert that they came back to America for, and they came to Dallas, and Christina got those tickets for me. She went to see my favorite group in exchange for me going to Jersey to see BTS with her as her favorite group on our friendiversary, because we celebrate those. And it was my first time in the I GOT7 ocean. Getting choked up again. You are turning the age that I turned has made me a marshmallow. Like all my thug life is just in question now. Being in the ocean and hearing our fandom singing Hard Carry and moving the light sticks to it and everything, it was so dope. And then the other amazing thing, I was sitting right in front of a Magwala who's also a I GOT7, who had intentions of finding me at the concert. Lo and behold, we were sitting right by each other. She got me my first GOT7 like concert specific gear. She got me the stuff from when they were in overseas and brought it to America for me to have. So I have like a GOT7 Jackson like banner and stuff. It's so cool. It's in my house. It's such a dope trinket that she got me. And she's here in Seoul for the concerts as well. So I hope to see her tomorrow. Hopefully, I really, really hope. And she's going to, I think, like 3 of their concert stops, which is so dope. But yeah, that was pretty cool. There have been a lot of moments where fans have given me things of GOT7, or I've seen something that's been like really, really special, and I was able to have a few crumbs on me to be able to purchase it. So that was really cool. Yeah, those were dope moments. 2017, just last year, I get to see them at KCON during the era of 7 for 7, which is very important to me because it was the first time that they felt like they were, well, to the fandom, it felt like the first time that they were all back together in some time. They had done some Japanese promotions. Jackson has his own stuff going on and whatnot. You know, they're really branching out. JJ Project, after making us feel in 2016 that they were done, and I even had a speculative video about it, and they came back with verse 2, this amazing album. And then we get 7 for 7 a few weeks following that. And they come to KCON, and I was at the bottom of the stage once again. Just, I get the hookups, man. I swear to God. I got to see my boys walk out to get onto the stage. They were headlining KCON. They were the headliners. Like, what? You go, babies. And they're doing their set, and I got my light stick, and I have backed away from everybody because at KCON, those floor seats, I mean, that general VVIP area is expensive AF, so it ain't crowded. So I made enough space for me to take my high heels off. I'm dancing barefoot. Jay of Simply Jay, if you watch her YouTube or her Twitch channel, she was in the stands behind me. She's like, Ashley, like you literally danced the entire time. And when you weren't dancing, I was just jumping, just crying. I was so happy to see them. So I'm dancing with my light stick, and the light stick wraps around your wrist, and I'm just jamming, hitting the choreo, singing the songs. I bust the strap off of my light stick. I didn't lose it. I still have it. I didn't put it back on there though. Whatever. I'm gonna leave it off because it's just a sign. It's a testament to how hard I was jamming. So I'm just waving my light stick and whatnot. And the boys are making their way around the edges of the stage and whatnot. And I'm waving and singing. And it finally gets to a part where Mark is somewhere. I don't have a lot of interactions with Mark, despite the fact that every time I see them, Mark be the main one all up in my camera. So I'm jamming. I'm singing, I'm waving my hands, and I point at Mark, and he sees it and just smiles and does this while he walks, and I'm like, ah! It brings me so much joy to my life. So much happiness. Happy. Sad moment was earlier this year because I never did register to be an official I GOT7. I lived in America. I didn't see the point. The perks are here. Yes, there are perks for foreigners, but as a YouTuber, as an entertainment company business owner, and as a journalist, I can apply for those perks in other ways where I'm able to do interviews and things of that sort. That still has not happened. Lord willing, it eventually will. If not, whatever, they know where my heart is. Yeah. So I tried to get tickets to the fan meeting this year. I was really excited about it, and I was first in queue after waiting for a very long time, and then a pop-up blocker prevented me from getting in there. And by the time the pop-up blocker refreshed itself and everything, all the tickets were gone. I literally watched it sell out in less than 5 minutes. I was excited for it selling out, but it, honest to God, put me in depression. I'm not even joking. I'm not using that to be exaggerative or anything of the sort. I was heartbroken. I was genuinely heartbroken. I am not entitled to seeing these guys. I'm not entitled to seeing anything. That's like an obsessive compulsive way of looking at being a fan. But my only desire has been to be able to see them here in Korea. I've literally hit everything on my list except interviewing them. So it was heartbreaking for me, and I really couldn't listen to any of their music or anything. And then when they made the announcement that they were going on a world tour, I'm like, well, this is your final try. You don't know if you're going to be in Korea very long or anything, but it's right around your birthday. The least you could do was get it. And I got the tickets, and I screamed for a full 2 minutes. I've never screamed so long in my life. I was in shock. I couldn't handle it. I was screaming in front of my students. My mouth was muffled, but I was most certainly screaming. It was very exciting. I've been waiting for tomorrow for years. For years. I've been waiting for the moment to experience what they bring to the table in the country that made them. And those are my favorite moments. Those are my most favorite moments. Honorable mention is the Never Ever live version they did with the distorted voices. That is hilarious. Also, the version of them when they're all cooking and making a cake and they're singing Never Ever, and JB's time in the jungle. Those are like profound moments that I feel are really unique. I said that I would go back to talking about Jackson having to take care of himself emotionally. Jackson used to wear his heart on his sleeve quite a bit and would believe at face value the interactions that were had were pure and true and honest. And time has taught him that not everybody has your best intention in mind and at heart. So we don't see him smile as much as we used to. Doesn't mean he's not happy, but he's growing up. And in growing up, you learn to protect the precious parts of yourself as best as you can, and this is just a part of his defense mechanism. That's why it's so much more exciting to see him when he is laughing and smiling now. It's very much worthwhile to cherish. So yeah, there's a moment for every day under the sun since they debuted, but those are the big moments for me that I value so much. I know there have been a lot of comments on the side of the screen and whatnot, and I haven't really acknowledged them this time. It's so much stuff that is being said. So I did not ignore you all this time. Usually I'm very interactive with the comments that pop up, but I had a lot to say. For those of you who gave me birthday shout outs and things of that sort, I'm very grateful for it. Thank you very much. I will more than likely have a quick live stream after the concert tomorrow because I'm going to be in my feels. I'm going to be in my feels, and I don't want to give away too much of the concert because others are anticipating seeing it. And there will more than likely be some changes to the set and things of that sort. Not set in terms of like the stage decor, the actual order of performance when they leave Korea, because they got the freedom to do a little bit more here than they do in some of the venues. But yeah, it's really dope. It's dope to be a part of a fan base that you kind of know has an impending expiration date. Like they're gonna be at the point in age where they'll have to do other things, and they might not last 10, 5, or 20 years or things of that sort. But for the time being, it's extremely enjoyable, and I'll support them no matter what happens, unless it's just something extremely controversial. I don't think I can love you through all things, but yeah, I very much value all 7 of those young men. I'm exceptionally proud of them. I adore them as a fan. I adore them as developing music artists. There are still a lot of spaces for them to improve and explore. I love them like a big sister or a mama would. Got a crush on a couple of them, so that makes it a little weird, but but I very much care about what they're pursuing, and the unit that they present, and the fact that now like they're the old heads of the current roster at JYP, because 2PM is all doing their individual things and or enlisted. So it's very interesting to see how fast things can change in 4 years. If ever you needed a measurement of time and how impactful and how fast it can be, look at some of your favorite groups and where they were when they began and where they are now, present day, if they're even still active. It can be pretty jolting. It really can. Let's see. See, do you think there are going to be changes between the concerts in each country, like Europe and Asia? Perhaps they might be a little bit. There might be a little bit of changes, but I don't think it'll be anything too drastic. I feel like the military stops all of the groups. Well, I mean, it has to stop them. It's mandatory. They ain't really got no choice. But the good thing is, like, if you have something solid and the group is large enough, when people are enlisting, then there's still an energy that can be held up. But if enough time goes past and then they come back, they just sound ancient. They might be out of date with how the sound is and things of that sort. So it's interesting. Maddie, safe travel to Seoul, by the way. See, I just I'm more than likely gonna gross up at the concert tomorrow. Like there's no denying it. My pride is gonna be too high. It's going to be too high. I'm just gonna be so happy. Going to be so happy. I cannot find my GOT7 shirt, the one that has Jackson's name on it. I know I brought it with me, but I can't find it. It might be in my luggage still. I need to still change my stuff over from winter to summer clothing, but it keeps going back and forth on being cold, so I haven't done it yet. But even still, if I don't wear it, it's no big deal. I got this from their debut year because it still has Junior on here. We all know Jin Young doesn't go by that anymore. But I'll have something, and even still, there's so much stuff that I can grab while I am there. While I'm there tomorrow, I'm gonna get my hands on some things. I hope to get the new light stick. Hope to get some other merch, some other magical things. So excited. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I don't know what the costumes are gonna look like. Oh my gosh, can you imagine what the costumes are gonna look like? Like, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I really need to get a life. I seriously should. Wow. But yeah, that's my favorite moments, McWallace. It most definitely is my favorite moments. Another update, although not necessarily like set on this, I do want to make sure to reiterate many of you during the April McGuala Hangout made contributions to my super chat. Those super chat contributions are literally on hold. They are not deposited in my bank account. They are not deposited anywhere else. They are sitting in YouTube still waiting for processing. As soon as they are processed, that money will go straight to kiva.org for the Giving McGualas, the lending team that we have to help impact other small business owners in the world and help them sustain their communities. So I'm grateful for that. I'm not keeping a percentage of it at all. All 100% of the donations from that live stream will go straight to the Kiva Foundation. And I'm sorry, kiva.org. I don't want to call it a foundation. It is a nonprofit organization, but still. And I will make sure to share that information and screenshots and everything because you want to know your money is going where it said it's going. And you wouldn't donate if you didn't feel compelled to. And it's important to know how I'm using what you give me. The super chat that was donated today, that will more than likely go into my YouTube upkeep because I cannot continue to give y'all these grainy ass videos. So once that money process, which won't be until late May or June, then hopefully that'll be enough for me to be able to get better lighting. It's not an issue of camera, it's an issue of lighting. And when you have crappy lighting, then everything looks grainy and bad. And finally, for those of you who are like, well, I just want to send you something. I am not accepting gifts while I am in Korea. It's just much too expensive to get things to me. Please, if you want to send me things, wait until I get back to America, or you can email me info@multifacetedacg.com. You can email me things. If you've done drawing or art or you do fanfics or things, you can send that to me. If you want to make a financial contribution to me, you can do that via Cash App or PayPal. I again encourage you to contact me privately for that. It's whatever you want to do, but your gifts I don't need. I'm grateful for them. Don't get me wrong. I am grateful for them, but you tuning into my YouTube and listening to my videos and interacting with me on social media and whatnot. That's more enough of a gift than you could ever imagine. So that's all I have to share with you. I have to get finished cleaning my house because Sid the Kid will be over later today so that we can start our journey to Seoul tomorrow for the concert. Um, so it's going to be exciting. I will catch you all very, very soon. Thank you for tuning in. The Gualas and I Got Sevens. I'll check y'all after the concert that I've waited so long to see. Bye, y'all.